Welcome back to the channel Coins Collector, everyone to the channel. I am so glad you are here today because what I am about to share with you is one of the most fascinating and jaw-dropping stories in the world of rare coins and hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket change right now. Imagine this. You are digging through your loose change, maybe looking for laundry money, maybe checking out that jar of coins on your dresser, or perhaps you're simply buying a cup of coffee. You hand over a dime, and then later discover that very same coin could actually be worth a staggering $263,000. Yes, you heard me right. $263,000 for a single 10-cent coin. Today we are going to dive deep into the story of the 1991 Roosevelt dime, a coin that most people would completely overlook, yet one that has captured the attention of collectors and experts across the globe. Now, before we get into the details of why this dime is so special and how it could possibly reach such an incredible value, let's take a little journey back through history. The dime as we know it today has been part of American currency for well over a century, but the specific design that most of us are familiar with is the Roosevelt dime. This design was first introduced in 1946 as a way to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who had passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was remembered not only for guiding the nation through the Great Depression and World War II but also for his tireless efforts in supporting the March of Dimes Foundation, which was created to fight polio. Because of that connection, it only seemed fitting that his portrait would forever be engraved on the 10-cent coin. Fast forward to the year 1991. The United States Mint in Denver, represented by the letter D as its mint mark, produced millions of Roosevelt dimes. Most of them circulated through banks, cash registers, and coin jars without anyone paying much attention. These coins were made of a copper core with a clad layer of nickel, giving them that shiny silvery look that we all know. To the average person, the 1991 D dime was just another everyday piece of money, something you'd pass along without a second thought. But here's the twist. Among these ordinary coins lies a rare variety that collectors are willing to pay an absolute fortune to. OWN.SO How could a dime that's worth only 10 cents suddenly skyrocket in value to over $250,000? It comes down to rarity, condition, and collector demand. Coins that have unique errors, special striking qualities, or have been preserved in pristine mint state condition can achieve astronomical values at auctions. With the 1991 D Roosevelt dime, certain examples have been discovered that are so rare and so immaculate that collectors will stop at nothing to add them to their collections. When a coin is graded at the very top of the scale, such as mint state 68 or higher by professional grading companies, its value can multiply beyond belief. That's exactly what happened here. One of these dimes, in near perfect condition, sold for an unbelievable $263,000. Think about that for a moment. A simple dime, something most people would never even glance at twice, becoming a life-changing discovery. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. It's not just about money, but about the stories, the history, and the thrill of finding a hidden gem. The 1991 D Roosevelt dime teaches us that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with a keen eye to recognize them. Today we'll talk about how to identify these rare examples, what makes them so valuable, and what to look out for in your own change. So stick with me until the end of this video, because you never know. You might have a coin in your pocket or tucked away in a coin jar right now that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And believe me, you don't want to miss this story. We're diving deep into the story of one of the most overlooked yet fascinating pieces of American change that could actually turn your pocket find into a life-changing treasure. That's right, we're talking about the 1996 D Roosevelt dime, a coin that looks so ordinary at first glance but carries with it a history, a story, and yes, a market value that will completely blow your mind. Now, most of us walk right past dimes. We toss them in jars, leave them under car seats, or even ignore them when we see one on the ground. But what if I told you that a coin minted in Denver back in 1996, a coin that you may have unknowingly held in your hand, could today be worth over $221,000? That's right, a single dime from just a few decades ago is now considered one of the hidden gems of American coinage, and today we are going to uncover why, before we dive into the incredible values and how collectors are paying unbelievable sums for this little silver-colored piece, let's take a journey back in time. Let's talk about why the dime holds such importance in American history, why the 1996 D mint mark is so special, and how this coin transformed from something minted by the millions into a highly sought-after treasure in the numismatic world. The dime as we know it today has a story dating all the way back to the very birth of the United States Mint in the late 1700s. But the design you see on the 1996 dime carries the image of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who led America through the Great Depression and World War II. His portrait was first placed on the dime in 1946, just 1 year after his passing, as a tribute to his leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes Foundation that helped combat polio. Now, fast forward 50 years later, to 1996. This year was actually an anniversary year for the Roosevelt dime, celebrating half a century of its design. Millions of coins rolled off the presses at the Denver Mint, marked with that small D beneath the year. Most of them circulated normally, passing from hand to hand for everyday purchases. But here's the twist: not all dimes are created equal. Among those countless coins, rare variations, unique minting errors, and pristine conditions have made a select few stand out in ways that now have collectors willing to pay jaw-dropping amounts of money. The 1996 D dime may seem like just a piece of clad copper nickel, weighing only 2.27 grams, but its true value lies in rarity and demand. Some of these coins, especially those preserved in perfect mint state condition or with unusual errors, have been auctioned for staggering prices. In fact, one such coin has reached a current market value of $221,000, yes, $221,000 for a single dime. Imagine dropping a dime on the sidewalk and unknowingly losing the kind of money that could buy a luxury car, a house deposit, or even fund an entire college education. The incredible worth of this coin comes from a mixture of history, scarcity, and condition. Collectors and investors in the coin world are always on the hunt for these pieces, because owning one isn't just about money, it's about holding a small but powerful piece of America's story. Each scratch, each shine, and each mint mark carries the legacy of our past. So in today's video, we're going to break it all down. We'll explore the history of the dime, the background of the 1996 Denver issue, the hidden reasons why this particular coin skyrocketed in value, and most importantly, how you can check your change or your coin jars at home to see if you've been sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Stick with me to the very end because this might just be one of those stories that changes the way you look at your everyday coins forever. What looks like pocket change could be treasure, and the 1996 D Roosevelt dime is living proof of that.